This is Drew with Boomer Music Company, your band and orchestra experts since 1976. All right, so we're back here at the Midwest Conference. We've got Eric from Pika and Jose from the Boston Brass. And we're here at the booth, as we have been recording all these videos, and you get the ambient noise and all that. That's fine. That's fantastic. I'm excited to be here among people and showing them how all this stuff works. But we're here to talk some mouthpieces. So, Eric, take it away.
Yeah, so, this is Jose Sibaja from the Boston Brass, and we've been working with Jose for many years. And it's truly fun to work with a player such as Jose because he's so consistent. And his consistency allows us to kind of do what we do. Uh-huh. And it's super fun, and we're excited to start this partnership with the Boston Brass, and great to have you aboard, Jose.
Thank you, Eric. I'll buy you a drink later, man.
Agreed.
Okay. It's awesome to be a part of the Pika family. You know, I've been a fan of their work forever, and we've been playing the mouthpieces for a while now, and it just feels like being at home. You know, every time you pick up a mouthpiece, if there's something that you want or that you envision, they outdo themselves and they bring it to the next level, and you go out the next door in a much bigger and better way every time.
Now, were there some specific problems that you were having that the Pika has helped you solve? You know, were there some challenges or things that weren't quite right with what you were using before you started going down that road?
It was more of things of color, number one, sound color, and also my relationship with the mouthpiece, with the Pika mouthpiece, it really helps with slotting. Mm-hmm. It's very easy for me to not have to manipulate in order to work, to do what I do. And that's priceless because the amount of energy that you put into it is a lot less. Therefore, in a 2-hour quintet show, which is what we do,
right?
That becomes an incredible asset.
Well, and especially for a trumpet player. I mean, you're out there, you're in the front, you're in the lead in a quintet. I mean, you're playing, the really hairy and high parts. You're not the foundation like the low brass. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you need to know that when you put it up to your face, it's just going to work.
Yeah, and also the fact that it's going to work and you don't have to. It's like when you drive, the big difference between driving like a just normal sedan or a BMW.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
it's just going to happen.
And they're both cars, and one will get, they'll get you from point A to point B.
There you go.
But one will either do it easier or in more style, or just, make it more of what you want the experience to be.
Also, and what I said this, but I can't say this enough. It's the amount of energy that it takes for me to do my job when I use Pika mouthpieces. It's a lot less. So for me, that's is making my night easier, more enjoyable. It's gonna translate in what it comes out to the audience, and the most important thing is that in the long run, it'll help my career, the longevity of my career.
Well, and you're not a mechanic; you're an artist. And if you're worrying about the mechanics of what you're doing more than the artistry of how you're doing it, then it's scarce resources that you're devoting to it. There's only so much to go around. So the more you can worry about artistry and the less you can worry about the mechanics of it, I think you're going to be better off.
Exactly, man. You know stuff.
I know things about stuff. So how did you get in the Boston Brass?
I lost a bet. No. I took
You just described half my life.
I took an audition. I don't know. It was 2005 or something like that, forever ago, and that's how that happened. Three people were recommended for the job, and that's what happened.
So how is it different playing in a brass quintet versus being in like an orchestra, for example, or other ensembles that people might know about, professional ensembles?
Well, you don't have to count bars, which is fantastic for one.
No, you just play a lot more.
Exactly. Also, the relationship between what happens on stage, it's a lot more vibrant.
Yeah.
And you can't turn anything off. So you have to be on the whole time that you're there, orally, mentally, because that you are it. You're one of five.
Well, and I've always, my favorite playing has always been in quintets. That's my absolute favorite, because it's small enough that there's nowhere to hide. I mean, you have to hold down your part. You don't have a choice. But it's big enough that blending and matching is really difficult. I mean, a bigger group like that, there's somewhere you can hide. But with only five, there's you got to hold down your part, and you have to be perfect. And but the interplay between all the parts is just, it's always incredible to me. It's
also, I think, in my opinion, playing an orchestra and playing other things are really fun. But what I really enjoy is, not counting bars. So having to be on all the time, I say that playing a quintet's a little bit of being like a marathon runner, and playing an orchestra is more like being a sprinter.
Yeah.
So.
Orchestra's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be in top shape no matter what. But
of course,
it's a little more of a spur of what's going on right now, and not the whole time you're playing.
I know from playing in quintets that you play lots of different styles. It'll be, you can play Baroque, classical, jazz. What's the stuff that you kind of gravitate towards and really enjoy playing the most?
Well, that's actually what made me really want to play, especially in Boston Brass, because Boston Brass hits such an array of styles during a concert that there's never a dull moment. And I love switching styles in music. I like to try to be as stay as true as possible to the language that I'm speaking at that point, and that's just part of the fun of music to me. I played in orchestra when I was younger. I played principal in an orchestra, National Symphony Orchestra in Venezuela. And that was great, and I had a great time. But I needed something else.
Sure.
I needed to switch the styles. I needed to play more, to be a more intricate part of what was going on at all times. And the quintet provides that.
And it's such a flexibility of a medium because, like you said, it can be all the different styles, and you're really only limited by the imagination of the members and whoever's doing your arranging if it's not someone that's in the group.
And the good thing about Boston, but we do all our arranging in-house.
Yeah, that's fantastic when you can do that.
Yeah, we can tailor everything to what we need. So that's great, and that really helps with our sound. I think there's something that really defines Boston Brass's signature sound.
Excellent.
Which is also is directly related to the mouthpieces and the equipment that we play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to take up too much more every time, but Eric, on the mouthpiece side of things, if people want to find out more about Jose's signature mouthpiece, where should they go? What should they do?
Yeah, you always can go to our website, pickablackburn.com. Jose has two models. He has many piccolo models, trumpet, many things. But on our website, we have his standard, which is loosely a 1/4. He uses for overall playing as far as orchestral as well, and in the quintet. And then we have the Hornet, which was designed so Jose can play the Green Hornet solo. Which
it works out. It's a great lead mouthpiece too.
Yeah, it's great if those, Jose hit the nail on the head is, if we can make his job more enjoyable and easier, that's our job. That's the ultimate goal, because then suddenly he's speaking the language of music and not worrying about a piece of metal. Because truly, its mouthpiece is metal. It's just a tool. But if we can eliminate the tool aspect and he can make better music, that's our goal.
Yeah, it's like you're not seeing individual notes on a page, you're seeing music. So it's the same thing. If you can transcend the gear and get to the artistry, then you've accomplished something. And Jose, if people want to find out more about the Boston Brass performances, recordings, and things like that, how can they find you?
Well, bostonbrass.com is the best way to find out about Boston Brass. And then, if they want to find out about what I do, josesibaja.com, or I'm Instagram, Facebook, all of the above. Not TikTok yet. I'm working on my dancing skills for that, man.
Yeah, I don't know. TikTok's a whole different dark art that I haven't gotten into at this point. Well, Eric, Jose, thank you so much for joining us here at the Midwest Clinic and for taking the time to speak with us.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If you need help with instruments, repairs, sheet music, or anything band or orchestra, reach out to us at boomermusiccompany.com. And if you like what you hear, do me a favor and tell a friend. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and subscribe to our e-newsletter so you will never miss another video or podcast. This is Drew with Boomer Music Company. Thank you for listening.